Can you please tell me about your son, Joseph?
Joseph was born at 33 weeks, which is 6 weeks early. He was born a good weight. He was 6 pounds. He was 5 pounds, 2 ounces. If he would have been full term, he would have been anywhere from 9 to 11 pounds. But I had my kids so close together that with my dwarfism and some other complications that I went into preterm labor. I had him at, like I said, 33 weeks. He came out kicking and screaming. He did really, really well until he was about 3 months old. And then a lot of times with preemies, they're born without the stuff that we're born with because they didn't have time to develop. With him, with us, with our intestines, we had like little bungee cords that hold our intestines in place while we get up, lay down, walk around. Joseph was born without them, and we didn't know that. And one day after he ate, about 30 minutes later, his stomach just swole, and it looked like he had swallowed, you know those indoor Nerf basketballs that every kid has had one. You put it on the back of the door, you shoot hoops. And his stomach did that, so they tapped it and they got back blood and feces. And he went into surgery, and the surgeon came out before the surgery, and he told me to call all family that I had that could get here within a 2-hour or if not closer span. So I called my husband, my in-laws, I called my family who lived in California at the time, and they just couldn't have made it, and because he wasn't supposed to make it through the surgery, and they didn't know how much damage was done, or if he had any thing that they could fix. So we had family at the hospital. My husband walked through the doors at the hospital. Joseph was coming out of surgery. He made it through the surgery. What had happened is he had lost about 110 centimeters of intestines, and so he only had 36 centimeters left. And all the parts, a lot of kids that have what they call short gut end up with a colostomy bag, but they caught it so quick that all the important parts, there's an important muscle in the colon, that was fine, that was saved. There's an important part that helps push everything through to get it to where it needs to go, and that was okay. That was still pink and healthy. And so he was attached inside, and so he had short gut, and it was very hard to nourish him because his body rejected a lot of the formulas. And finally there was a formula that was so brand new, it wasn't in hospitals yet. It had come out of Sweden, and they tried it, and he was 18 months old, and he was starting to have heart problems due to malnutrition because his body wouldn't absorb whatever formulas we were trying. They tried it, and he went from 6 pounds to 18 pounds in 3 months. And it was kind of funny because it was kind of like, we had this itty bitty fragile baby, and then we had this toddler. And he did really, really well. He had a trach at 5 months. He got a trach. My daughter has a trach. He also had a G-button. My daughter had a G-button. So that wasn't really scary. The scary part came where he had a ventilator, and he needed 24-hour care. Well, he did get insurance while we were in the hospital that was state funded, and we were able to take him home and have 24-hour care with him. Now, there was a couple of times where we got snowed in and the nurses couldn't make it, so John and I would tag team because of the ventilator. Somebody had to stay up with him. So because if the ventilator malfunctioned, then we had a problem, and we never had a problem with the ventilator. Knock on wood. We treated him like he was just an average kid. Both of my kids don't know any different. Yeah, they had a trach. They couldn't do certain things like the kids do. They couldn't go swimming. They couldn't, be out if it was real dusty. And so, you know, our life kind of was contoured towards our kids. And, you know, we were a very quiet family, and we weren't able to just go out and be out and, you know, take the kids to softball, to soccer, because, I mean, they couldn't.
How is your daughter's health now?
She's great. She got her check out in December. She's planning on, I think, not being home real much this summer. She wants to go to summer camps. She wants to go to overnight camps. She wants to do this. She wants to do that. And so hopefully I'll see her. I mean, both of my kids, a lot of times society teaches you certain things, but my kids have taught me more about patience, guidance, just how to deal with people in general, who may be a little different. And I mean, my family's different. You know, we have dwarfism, but I learned more from my son than I have learned from anybody that has been in my life. And he was only in our life for 6 years, and that was 6 years more than the doctors ever told us. But we didn't treat it that way. We didn't treat it like, okay, any day he could pass away. I raised him like a 6-year. I mean, I raised him like he was gonna be around forever. And when he did pass, that turned out to be one of the biggest blessings, because we didn't take any day for granted. And he died at 6 at home. His body just gave out. He did get to go to kindergarten for 3 days. So that was a really big accomplishment for us, because I wanted to see him go to school, you know, and I fully expected both my kids to be in college. They're 15 months apart. So I expect when we had them and they were at home, and I think they were 2 and 1, I was like, okay, y'all are going to be in high school together. Y'all are going to be in college together. Oh my gosh. You know, and y'all are going to both be driving cars together. You know, the whole together, you know, because it's like having twins. I mean,
how has your son's death affected your daughter?
It's actually been quite interesting. You know, at first we all took it really hard. I mean, because Emma didn't know her life without her brother. Because she was 15 months old when he came into her life. And she's still a baby. I mean, she's still a baby at that point. But she has actually taken it and reversed it, and has more patience, and she will grow up and do something with kids. I mean, because she can work with teenagers, and she can work with 2-year-olds. I mean, she adapts to no matter what. I mean, if the child's in a wheelchair, then she'll sit on the couch so that she's eye level, and will play. Even if they can't cognitively play it back, she'll spend time and talk to them and play with them and just be there for them.
That is really amazing how your family had such a tragedy, and then you were able to turn around and have some good come out of it with the Joseph Thomas Foundation. Then your daughter, you know, she now may want to work with kids and do things like that, whereas some families may just, you know,
right. And I have a really good friend back home. Her name's Traci Davis. She's an author and writer. She actually has a book out, The Mama Guide. But she and I have been friends since our kids were little. And what's kind of interesting is her life and my life kind of parallel in some aspects. And the book that she wrote it's a book that will help, like, stay-at-home moms, dads, uncles, aunts, sisters, I mean, you name it. And what it is it reminds you to take time for yourself. Because if there's a lot of times where my kids come first always, and so does my husband. And there are times where I just have to walk outside and walk around my pool and count till I lose count, because the stress level does build. I mean, kids are a lot of work, and that book will help, you know, the moms that feel so overwhelmed, because we all have been there.
Right. We
have all just wanted to duct tape the kids to the wall and walk away for a few minutes and just, you know, like, breathe it out.
So the book gives you a few strategies on how you can stay calm.
And it just makes you more aware that if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be 100% for your family.
That's important.
And we are actually working together, and so for books, like when she sells a book, there's a portion of it that comes back to our foundation. I mean, because she and I are such good friends, and so we're paralleling. So we're still paralleling, and it's a great book. I would recommend it for everybody.
So that's Traci Davis, the author of The
The
Mama
Mama Guide, yeah.
Okay, so if any of you are interested